Ahoy hoy, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm wearing my Seriously shirt today, and I've decided that if I wear this shirt, it means one thing. You guys are all in for a rant. Or as I like to call it, I wish to register a complaint. God, my British accent sucks. So, what is Lindsay going to complain about today, or rant about? Well, let me give you the backstory first. So recently, I came across a video of Pewdiepie's that talks about how the YouTube had gotten into a lawsuit by the Federal Trade Commission, which is the FTC. It's protecting America's consumers and stuff. And the reason why the FTC sued YouTube was because YouTube was collecting information about children. And I think it was either on child-friendly sites. I think it was on child-friendly channels and videos and stuff. Not ones that are not made for children. And so YouTube has to bail out a huge ass sum of money because they got fined for this. Well, as a result, every single YouTuber has to comply with COPPA, which the FTC wants us to follow, which is you have a few options. You either label your channel as being child-friendly or not. Or you have the other option of deciding which videos is child-friendly and which videos are not. As a whole, I decided to make my whole entire channel basically for not children. Because when I started YouTube last year, I made it with the intent to promote my book, Immortal Love. And Immortal Love is not for kids. It is for adults. Or say it's R-rated. It would be an R-rated book. Because, when I wrote it, I had the intentions of it becoming a movie. And it would be an R-rated movie. And the way I write is basically R-rated. And even when I write stories on fanfic.net, they're for a mature audience because I write graphic violence, graphic sex, and I swear like a sailor. And the thing that kind of is annoying in a way is that it's just, YouTube had an issue with people being edgy in their films, or in their vids, like Pewdiepie and Shane Dawson and stuff, even though Shane Dawson doesn't really do that much stuff anymore with edginess. And the same thing goes for Pewdiepie. And even if that was the case, YouTube Kids was designed to prevent children, or let parents prevent their children, keyword, parents prevent, from watching that kind of content. Because you can't watch hate videos, you can't watch anything gory when you have the YouTube Kids app. And a few months ago, I made a video about YouTube Kids, and I demonstrated on my daughter's old pad of how effective it was to preventing a kid from seeing certain content on that app. Well, apparently now, if you're child-friendly, you're going to be affected by all this. Supposedly, if you're child-friendly, you're going to be demonetized or get less ads and revenue because of it. Your comments are going to go away. I don't know if you're already child-friendly or if you didn't put your video as child-friendly and the FTC is like, nope, you are child-friendly. I think that's the case if that happens, rather than if you already admit that you are child-friendly. But even if you're child-friendly, you're being affected by this because they're trying to prevent kids' information from being taken. So now you're being punished for having child-friendly content. And as someone who's an entertainer and who's wanted to be an entertainer for a long time, it's amazing how much they're trying to censor everybody now on YouTube. you know. And it's not just edgy content and being child friendly. They don't want you to say certain words in your videos. Or you get demonetized, you get less advertising and stuff. And it's like, come on. Not even freaking movies and TV shows have to go through all this crap, you know? I mean, let me just say this. It's not a bad idea that the FTC and YouTube are really trying hard to make sure kids' information isn't being taken. And it's good that YouTube doesn't want kids to see certain things, like having a kids app for YouTube. But I think the way they're going about it is all wrong. And what really got my attention was a YouTube creator can be fined for a lot of money. What was the figure? It was in the thousands. Money that I don't even have. But then again, I'm not monetized, so. But anyway, they will fine creators just if they label their video wrong, and you can't control your audience. You can't control your audience. You can't control who sees your content. I don't think people get this. Okay, you want me to go there? I'll go there. I'm a former movie theater employee. I worked at the movie theater called Hoyt's back in 1999 to 2001. I was there for nearly 2 years. And you have ratings on movies to let people know what movie is good for a child. And yet, when Deadpool came out, you hear people complaining about taking their kid to see Deadpool and seeing all this goriness happen when they knew it was an R-rated movie. I've heard and I've seen people take their kids into R-rated movies. Now, here's the thing, guys. Now, it's been a while since I worked in the movie theater, and I'm sure they still do the same things, but if you're still working in the movie theater, maybe you can correct me. But, at least in the United States, you have to be 17 years old to enter an R-rated movie. And you need ID if you look young enough. Like me. I look young, but I'm 37. Oh, I haven't been carded in a while, so maybe I'm beginning to look old, but who knows. The only time you can go into an R-rated movie if you're below the age of 17 is if a guardian or a parent or an adult is with you. That's the only time. So even if you have this barrier where you can't go into an R-rated movie if you're under the age of 17, that can be overridden by a parent or a guardian or an adult going in with you. This was seen in South Park. And it's like the South Park movie, you know, bigger, longer, uncut, that kind of thing. And you remember how everybody got so pissed off because the boys went to go see a movie that had a lot of swearing in it? Yeah. And of course, they punished Terrence and Phillip rather than punish the boys or punish the parents, you know. Or, you know, punish the person that let them go see the movie. And all, I mean, there's a bad taste in my mouth when artists, musicians, actors, or performers or whatnot, and now YouTube creators are targeted for making content that's not for kids when there are warnings, ratings, letting people know that, hey, this isn't suitable for your child. Therefore, why the hell are you letting your child watch it? And then when your child gets traumatized from seeing something gory or hearing a word that you don't want them to hear, you get mad at the artist or you get mad at the actor. I mean, to me, it's mind-boggling how this agency of the government, because it is a government agency, is going after YouTube creators and finding people who are labeling their video as not being child friendly when they think it is child friendly. And for example, there are channels that have figurines because adults are interested in figurines and stuff, and yet they're being punished because they claim not to be child friendly when the FTC sees them as child friendly. And this is the same case for anime. I think anybody who knows anime knows it's not exactly child friendly sometimes. And yet these people are getting punished because, kids like anime, of course they're going to go see it. But, it's like South Park. Like, I don't remember the channel. But it was someone talking about South Park, and FTC, get this, label that video from this channel as being child friendly because of South Park. Yeah, last time I checked, South Park was not a child friendly TV show. It's for mature audiences. I guess they need to look that up. And if I was that channel, I would actually challenge that, because South Park is not a child friendly freaking it's a damn. It's not. Just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean it's child friendly. And basically, I think what would help a lot is that there was a rating system on YouTube, like you have with movies, like you have with TV shows, like you have with music. That's what YouTube needs to get. That's what the FTC needs to work with YouTube and create a rating system. And, if someone mislabels their content as being not child friendly when they think it is, rather than punish the creator, they should be like, okay, no, your content isn't this, but it is this, so here's a rating for it. And here's the thing too that I question. Now, before I joined YouTube, I watched YouTube videos without having an account. And when there was something that was, violent or whatnot, I actually had to sign into YouTube in order to see it. And of course, I didn't do that because I didn't have a YouTube account or a Google Plus account back then. And I didn't have it for years. Yeah. I mean, I've been watching Shane Dawson and Pewdiepie since Shane Dawson since 2008 and Pewdiepie since 2010. Years before I even got my YouTube account and my Google Plus account, which was last year. And their videos never really brought up this content's too mature for young audiences to see. So I didn't have to deal with that for their videos, but there's been other videos I wanted to see that was either graphically violent or violent, even slightly violent, or had profanity in it or had sex in it. And, they're like, you need to sign in order to see this video. And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. But that's if you're not a subscriber. That's not if you don't have an account. Well, if you have an account and stuff, maybe a rating system would work. And, I don't know. The thing that I don't get, personally, is what information exactly is being collected. Did I already write about this? I can't remember writing about this. If I written about this, I'm sorry. But what information exactly is being taken about these kids? Just their names and location? And the thing that I would like to point out is that it may not be the kids that have this information taken, it may be the parents. At least for us, we don't have our kids' names on the damn account, for starters. We have my significant other's name on the account. So what people think is being taken for children may actually be adults signing, using their names for their kids' account. But I don't know what to say. I do agree with Pewdiepie in the sense that parents should be the ones to step up more and monitor what their kids are watching. Even if you have the YouTube Kids app, you should still monitor what they're watching. And I don't know, maybe YouTube should stop letting companies collect information. I mean, that's the thing that I don't get. Now, I mean, excuse me if I sound very naive about this whole entire case, but is YouTube collecting the kids' information, or is it outside companies collecting the kids' information? And if that's the case, why are these companies not being punished? Why is it just YouTube? You know, there's no reason why outside companies should be collecting information from Yahoo Kids apps to begin with. That's what I don't get, you know? But anyway, I just don't feel like it's right for creators to be punished, especially fined for, you know, I mean, because we can't control our audience. Like I even said with the movies, you can't even control your audience sometimes because you have a parent bringing their kid into a violent movie or a movie that's rated R. How is that, say, it's almost a, let me put it this way. Okay, say you had a child, let's say you had a child go into a movie like 50 Shades of Grey. Oh no, actually, let's use Deadpool. No. You know what? I'm going to use an example that I heard of when I was working at the theater. I heard when two women got a refund because the movie was, they saw the sequel to Silence of the Lambs. I think it was just called Hannibal. And they told me they couldn't bear it because just the beginning was that bad. I'm not going to go into exactly what transpired because I don't want to get in trouble, even though I'm an official adult channel. But they told me that they heard a kid crying while they were in that movie theater. And it's like, really? Someone brought their kid into that movie? Are you kidding me? So, let's use that. Say this child got so traumatized by what they saw, and the parent was just shocked by what they saw too and how it affected the kid, that they decided to sue the theater. No, why should it be the theater's fault? It's your fault for bringing your kid into a movie that was rated R. When a movie is rated R, you know it's going to be bad, either with language, sex scenes, or violence, or all the above. Use your common sense. So, on that note, say someone decides to sue because of this. Okay, well then you have to sue the directors and cast for making such a movie like that. You hear how fucked up? No, almost went there. You hear that? How messed up that is? How messed up it is for someone who created the movie that was violent to get sued because someone couldn't be responsible about what their kid was seeing? You know, parents have to step up with their responsibility too. They just can't rely on entertainment to take care of their kids. Yes, I'm a parent myself. I get how easy it is to sit your kids down in front of the TV at times so they can watch something, especially when they've been driving you nuts, and especially when they've been fighting a lot. And, sometimes YouTube and TV are peacekeepers. They really are. But at the same time, you should also monitor what your kids are watching or listening to, rather than rely completely on the entertainer or the musician or whatnot. You're the parent, act like it. Stop putting the blame on someone else for something that you should do. Yes, my kids have YouTube Kids, mostly on their phones and on their pads. But you know what? They don't have it on the TV. You know what I do? I keep an eye on what they're watching. If it's too violent or it isn't for their age range, I tell them they can't watch it. Yeah, I've done that. Amazing concept, isn't it? And, I've been hearing this crap for a long time now. Because I have wanted to work in the entertainment industry since I was young as 4. And I'm so sick and tired of celebrities and artists and entertainers and writers and now YouTube creators getting the brunt of the blame for something that they shouldn't even be concerned with. It should be the parents or the guardians or the adults in the situation watching what their kids are watching. And if it's that bad, turn it off. And if you're going to a site where they're actually collecting information, you know what? Don't go there then. Don't go there. It's like Facebook. It's like how Facebook collects information. If you're that paranoid and that concerned about information being collected on you, don't go on Facebook. I mean, and that's the thing too. People rely so much on how others manage stuff rather than how they do things. Like, you know, they're like, if they see something too bloody or too offensive, they're like, oh, this shouldn't be around. This should be going away. And let me emphasize something here. I'm not talking about something involving hate speech. You know, I'm talking about, you know, something like a TV show like Game of Thrones that is gory and stuff and sexual. And if they don't like it, you know, they shouldn't try to get it canceled or anything like that. They just don't watch it. I didn't watch it because it was too gory. I mean, if it just had the sex, I would have been fine with that. But no, it was too gory for me, so I just never watched it. I tried reading the plot synopsis. Oh God, I'm probably saying that wrong. I read the plot information about each episode, and I'm like, I'm so glad I did not watch that. But reading it was enough. But that falls on to me for choosing to read something that I know is violent to begin with. You know, it's not the cast's fault. It's not the writer's fault. People need, especially if they're adults, need to take the prerogative and monitor how they are. And if they read it, it's their own damn fault because their warning's like, oh, this is too graphic. Even when people warn people about, okay, don't read this if you know, it contains certain topics or whatnot. And someone still reads it and they're still pissed off. It's like, no, it's not my fault. It's your fault because I gave you a warning that it was bad. You got to take the responsibility somewhere. So, yeah. And again, I don't get why these outside companies that are getting the information from kids on the YouTube channels, especially designed for children, are not somehow getting penalized either. It's just YouTube. It's like, no, it should be the outside companies. They don't need those children's personal information. There's no reason to have a child's personal information. Period. But whatever. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't think someone should be fined for this. If YouTube and FTC really want to prevent crap like this from happening, they need to start having ratings on YouTube channels like they do, or YouTube videos like they do in movies, TVs, and music. I think it's about time now. Because you don't see musicians and other artists and stuff being fined because kids see violent stuff or sexual stuff or hear profanity and stuff. So why the hell are YouTube creators the only ones getting penalized for that kind of thing? Also, for taking kids' information when we can't even do that in the first place. Go after the companies that are doing that. That's all I have to say about that. So, if you like this video, hit like. If you subscribe, I'll be absolutely delighted. I still love YouTube. I think it's a good platform for people, especially if they live in an area that isn't high traffic for entertainers and stuff like that, especially if you live far away from LA and New York, which are major hubs for the entertainment industry. And, you know, people who just want to make videos for fun. But it's going to get to the point where it's not going to be fun anymore. And people might just start jumping ship and go somewhere else. But it's okay. You know, sometimes you learn stuff and you grow from that. So, and I understand that FTC is just concerned about children and all this other stuff. But I think penalizing a YouTuber by fining them is not the answer, really. So, anyway, if you like this video, you know, smash it. Ow! Damn, it hurt. If you subscribe, I'll be absolutely joyous like you wouldn't believe. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.